Live from a dimension not of your own, but somewhere else.
It was too late. The rats had already consumed him.
This is a bloody good time.
Welcome back, you gorgeous little freaks. My name is Sly Dog. This is Mozart the Mad, and this time I am floored. This is a bloody good time, and we are reviewing the Bone Temple. Something that, all right, I have a lot to say.
I can tell. It's okay. We were terrified about this movie, not because we thought it was going to be scary, but because the first one was so bad. If you haven't seen how bad it was, go back and watch that video.
Cut two.
Cut two. Okay.
My hissy fit.
Oh, that's worth watching.
This was
Yeah.
She takes her saw nunchucks and gets it around his neck, and the dude's coming behind her like, let me give you hand teamwork.
Yeah.
It's worse the second time. What the ending was that?
I can't wait for the sequel. I cannot wait for the
What the
sequel.
are they gonna call it?
Jimmy's Revenge.
28 years later too?
28 days and a week and a half later with Jimmy. You know you loved it.
And
That's going to be a good sequel.
it shouldn't be a sequel! Say it before and I'll say it again. They ruined my franchise! This is my favorite zombie movie!
Golly. Anyway.
No, so 28 Years Later was an absolute show. And listen, I'm going to go ahead and say this ahead of time simply because I am very excited and emotional about this movie. I am going to get through the intro before we get to spoilers clean, okay? After that point, there is going to be explicit content. There are going to be curse words, things like that. We're going to be talking about some thematic stuff that we just simply can't avoid without talking about the movie. So, we're all adults here. All of our videos are set up for 18 plus. You will be okay. If that's not something you're interested in, look at this timestamp. That's where it has our overall judgment and everything like that. And then maybe I won't be cursing at that time. But I'll at least bleep it out for you. Okie dokie?
Hopefully. Maybe.
As best I can.
You put in a noble effort every time. I will never criticize you and your editing abilities.
Yeah, our editor is dealing with some stuff right now, so I've taken over. And so sometimes I miss an F-bomb or two.
Sorry.
But yeah, so...
Where do you want to start?
First impressions walking into the movie is where I want to start. What were you anticipating? What were you...
Honestly, the only thing, that one little light glimmer of hope I had that, oh, please, was the fact that it was a new director.
Yes.
That was the only chance I was giving. It had it been a completely redo of the whole thing from before, then it would not have gone well.
Yes.
I was really, 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 really dreading that we were going to end up watching the exact same thing that happened on the first 28 years later, which, fortunately...
Director Nia DaCosta.
Very good job. Thank you for redeeming.
You saved the franchise.
Yeah, you did. You really, really did.
Good God. Yeah. No, when I walked into this, and I'm pretty sure I told you beforehand that I was anticipating being angry one way or the other.
Yeah,
I was either going to be angry that it was a piece of movie that didn't do anything better than what 28 Years Later was,
right?
Or it was going to piss me off because it was better, but it was wrong. Yeah. And that I didn't like the fact that it was better, but it was still done wrong.
Right.
Thank whatever you believe in that's out there. Even if you don't believe in anything, thank the universe, thank the empty space around you. Thank whatever. Nia DaCosta did it because, oh my God, she reached in 6 feet underground and pulled this franchise out of the depths of death and brought it back into where it belonged and gave it something that it deserved. As far as I'm concerned,
Clear.
Fully.
It's alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a save.
Well, we shit on Frankenstein pretty hard, but
Because it needed it. I don't care what anybody else says. It needed that treatment. Because
It did.
was that bad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so she fully did it right. And I will kill on that hill that this one essentially where I am at when it comes to these two movies, because they work in conjunction with one another.
Yeah.
28 years later doesn't exist. It's like the treadmill that you bought that you intended to use after the new year,
Right.
when you had your New Year's resolutions, and all it's doing is holding up your coat racks. That's all it's for. And that's all. You don't talk about it. It's just there.
It's in the corner.
It's in the corner.
Dust.
And nobody talks about it. Nobody thinks about it. It's there.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, I could do it right now, where you give me 10 minutes. I'll have you watch 28 days later, 28 weeks later, give you 10 minutes to give you 28 years later, so that way you understand what's going on, and then show you Bone Temple.
Yeah.
Bone Temple did not need to be a 2.5-hour movie.
No.
It needed to be a 10-hour, here's what you need to know, on to Bone Temple. Like, when it came to Spike, the history, all of that stuff.
Yeah,
So much of it was illogical, unnecessary, and superfluous to the story they were building.
Right.
This was the meat. This was the steak
Yeah.
of the actual thing. And I'm so happy about that. Anyways, overall, that's our intro. Here come the spoilers.
Get ready.
So we start the Bone Temple right after 28 years later, where it ends off, where Spike has been gone willingly, with Jimmy and his crew after they saved him from some zombies.
Jimmy and the Jimmies.
Jimmy and the Jimmies. If there wasn't a more Manson-esque, narcissistic mother, I will give it to him. He played it well.
Oh yeah, he was a jerk the whole time.
He was such a and I was like, oh my God.
The whole, mental manipulation. I'm going to make everybody have the same name I've got because I don't want to take the time to remember your name.
On top of wearing wigs.
Right, everybody had to wear Jimmy wig.
Those bangs were terrible.
Oh, awful. Yeah,
They
absolutely
were so
awful.
bad. Those wigs are terrible.
But yeah, he's, like you said, he's very much a Manson-esque kind of personality.
Yeah, 100%. That's immediately who came to mind, was this narcissistic, God complex kind of personality that has convinced these people through bullshit that he is what he says he is, which he says he is the Prince of the Dark Lord, the devil, which we will get into, because I have issue with that. But
all these people that he's recruited, though, are all about the same age or a little bit younger.
They are.
So you got to think, Jimmy, when the Teletubby incident happened, was what, 5?
Yeah.
So 28 years later,
he was
he's
a child.
early to mid 30s.
Yeah.
Roughly. And these other people are younger than him, so they probably were born about the same time or maybe even slightly after Rage virus has pretty much decimated everything. So it's understandable how he's kind of got like that big brother feel, but it was a jerk big brother that is going to make everybody do what he wants them to do, not necessarily what they need to do.
Yeah, and I can definitely see the logic, and that was one of the things that was such a breath of fresh air about this movie, was when you were going through it and watching it, you could see the logic. You could understand the line of thinking behind the characters, behind the plot, what the director had in mind when it was happening, where you're not confused. It's weird, but you're not confused by it. I was never confounded to the point where I was like, why the did they put that in?
Yeah.
Like, I understood, and I totally understand that line of thinking, where, let's say it's like a Lord of the Flies type of situation.
Yeah.
Jimmy's like 6, 5 or 6, whenever this all hits the fan, like during 28 days later.
Right.
He ends up finding random surviving kids that are about his age. Maybe they were his peers, maybe not, and they end up growing together and surviving together. And they become this weird, lethal band and just stick together because survivalism and all that. That is human. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
I fully agree. And so it's a weird situation, but we find ourselves with Spike in a pool, an empty pool, where we're surrounded by the other Jimmies while main Jimmy is sitting essentially on a throne watching Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Where one of the Jimmies this is going to get tricky with all the Jimmies, but one of the Jimmies is in the middle of the ring with Spike, and it's essentially a fight to the death. They give Jimmy a knife, they give Spike
Jimmy
a knife.
A big knife, Spike gets a little like pocket knife.
Yes.
Type thing. Because it's a fair fight.
Yeah. And the whole point is that Spike has to kill Jimmy to essentially become Jimmy. And
Spike was like the main character in 28 Years Later. And he was almost like a minor character to me in this one.
A little bit.
It's almost like they took him and went, no, we're going to go with a different story arc, which worked, and you're just going to be a minor character.
What I felt like was it wasn't so much that he was a minor character. To me, it made him feel more like what he was, which was like a 14-year-old child.
Yeah.
Where, sure, he was raised in this world. Like, he has some experience, but not much.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, he gets swept up.
Right.
He gets caught up with Jimmy, and now he's doing stuff that he never signed up for.
They just saved his life, so he's got to kind of stick with them a little bit.
Exactly. And so he did a really good job.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Spike's acting, he did a really good job of showing this conflicting nature of feeling like he owes these people his life and his loyalty because of what they did for him, but at the same time, he's struggling with his own moral compass.
Which brings us back to the pit that we're talking about, the swimming pool.
The swimming pool.
Where it's a fight to the death, and it's Spike and Jimmy or Jimmy something. One of the Jimmys, yeah.
The only one I recognized that was different was Jemima?
Jemima. I thought it was Jemay.
The woman?
Girl? Yeah.
I thought it was Jemima or something like that.
Mamie, yeah.
Audience, do you know?
It was close enough.
Okay, no. All right, so yeah. It was a feminine version of Jimmy. I don't know. But anyways, so dudes are in here together, and clearly
I was going to do Spike.
The adult oh, okay, sure. Yeah, so they're fighting. Clearly, Jimmy, this is stupid. This is terrible. I might actually cut that out. That was bad. So
No.
You've got, why is your thumb in there now? He's not the naked one.
Oh yeah.
That's Samson.
That's the naked one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Samson does come back in this one. Again, if you haven't seen the first 20 Years Later, go watch that one. You'll understand why this is Samson.
No, you don't. Actually, I would argue you don't need to. And that's one of the things I want to talk about.
Oh, sorry.
But
I keep jumping you.
Yeah, come on, man.
Sorry.
I got a plan.
Sorry. Go for it.
Got a lot to say.
You took notes.
I did. So,
I'm going to sit over here and look cute.
I mean, when it became in the beginning, all I said was doing good, making Jimmy one narcissistical, egotistical and that was it for the beginning of the first scene. That's what he is. He just is that. Yeah. So they're in this fight. They're going back and forth, and clearly the older one who has more combat skills, he's schooling the hell out of Spike. I mean, he just
Absolutely. Right. Experience played a part.
Yeah. And he 100% does. And one of the things that we have talked about in previous movies that I loved that they used in this one was the femoral artery.
Yes. Yes.
They did it right. We have had other movies where they get stabbed on that inner thigh or bitten or somehow mutilated on that inner thigh, and it's just a flesh wound. 'Tis not just a flesh wound.
Nay, 'tis not.
This one this dude up. So Spike gets knocked over. He comes in with a lucky Hail Mary of just blinding like desperation and comes in, manages to stab this dude in his inner thigh, catches his femoral artery. They pull it out and this dude starts gushing
arterial
blood.
Spray goes everywhere.
Which is actually what would happen. Yeah. If your femoral artery gets cut, you have seconds.
You're bleeding out quick.
Yeah. If I remember right, it's like under a minute with the femoral. It's a huge artery.
15 to 30 seconds?
Yeah.
I remember for sure.
Like, it's a massive artery that's coming through, and if you get that cut, you are on a
I'll look it up later.
Tight time clock to make that okay. Yeah. Tourniquet it, stuff it, something. But yeah, you need help immediately. And once he gets off this lucky shot, they pull out the knife. He's bleeding everywhere. And King Jimmy is...
Oh, King Jimmy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, cool. King Jimmy is just having a great time. He starts laughing his ass off and just watching as, one of the Jimmys, they call him the fingers.
Yeah.
The fingers of his hand, that is Jimmy, was one of the fingers just bleeds out and starts going all over the damn place.
I think King Jimmy knew that was a fatal wound.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And I think the rest of the Jimmys were kind of standing around going, oh, he's bleeding pretty bad, but not really realizing just how soon it was going to happen, and this Jimmy's no more.
Yeah, no. It's a testament to the actor that played King Jimmy in how well he portrayed his sadism. I thought when they kept cutting back to him watching
Yeah.
his friend, you
Yeah.
know, of who knows how long,
Follower,
but yeah,
right.
his follower bleeding out. You kept seeing his pleasure in it. It was like intrigue, and then it turned into, oh, I'm not going to mess with this.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Like,
Curiosity.
so yeah.
Curiosity killed the Jimmy.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, one of the Jimmys dies, which means that King Jimmy is missing a finger. So what happens? But Spike is given two options. They can either kill him, or he can become a Jimmy. So they stick I'm assuming a nasty wig on him.
It looked like a used mop. It was
was
not
so
good.
bad.
Yeah.
So they stick a nasty wig on him, and they say, your name's no longer Spike, your name's Jimmy.
I think it was the Jimmy that he killed. They took his wig and gave it to Spike.
They did.
Okay.
They did indeed. Yeah, so this seems like it's a trend where, like, this is the ritual where you can't have more than 5, therefore... 7?
I thought it was 7.
Was it?
I thought it was 7 Jimmys.
That's not a hand.
I know. That's what made it weird. It was like maybe 6 Jimmys and then King Jimmy.
Really?
For 7 total.
I could see King Jimmy being the palm, but
Right.
I'll have to...
It was an odd. It was a.
It didn't match. It didn't match the
curious number.
5.
It wasn't 5.
Really?
Yeah. It was a curious number, like either 6 or 7.
Damn, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe because of their whole satanic background they chose 6 because, you know, 666 and all that. I don't know. Anyways, Spike becomes one of the Jimmys. And
Unwillingly.
Yes. Hesitantly. Reluctantly.
Reluctantly. That's a good way of putting it.
And they go marauding. And then, do we cut to Dr. Kelson at this point?
Somewhere in here we cut to Kelson. I don't
Because
remember
that's
where
the
it
next
was.
thing that I have is just continuity when it comes to Samson.
Yeah.
So we'll say from here, they go marauding. Oh, yeah. No, they do. They do. They cut back to the Bone Temple, the ossuary, where Dr. Kelson is at. And you see his experimentation. And I loved what they actually did with Kelson throughout the movie in this one.
Me too.
Because what bothered me about the other one was they kept saying that Kelson was crazy, that he was just this mad doctor that lost his mind whenever the rage virus took over and all that stuff. This poor man has been basically alone, or anybody he has known or made friends with has been murdered, died, killed, or turned into a zombie that probably he had to kill for almost 30 years.
Right. And he's
If you
still
know-
holding it together.
Yeah, and if you know anything about what isolation does to the human brain like that, it's not good. It's horrific what happens whenever humans don't have community. It predisposes you to all kinds of stuff that is not good, all kinds of brain degradation. And in this, you actually got to see some strange behavior that would match that, in my opinion,
Yeah.
for what Kelson was dealing with.
There were some definite questionable choices. Not questionable, but interesting choices that he made. I mean, completely keeping himself covered in iodine. He figured out what worked, but now he's just going to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, from a doctor's point of view, I guess that makes sense. Go for it. But that's, again, like you say, one of those things where is he slipping? Is he mentally losing it? Or is he actually onto something here?
Yeah.
And that you're right. That happened a lot throughout the show. The isolation versus, is it madness or is it science?
Yeah. And in the 28 years later, he was just, for me, he was way too acclimated. He was so nonchalant and like, oh, hey, I'm Dr. Kelson. Do you need help?
Right.
Let me help you and your mother.
Yeah.
Like, he was way too go back to being doctor mode for having spent 28 years essentially by himself or going through turmoil and horrific stuff we don't even know about. It made no sense.
Right.
A mad doctor would make far more sense than just a perfectly average, I am a healer type of thing. Excuse me, I've got another body to burn to make this ossuary and take all of his
I
bones.
need to boil this skull right quick. Hang on, I'll be back with you.
Yeah. Let me give you some penicillin right after. No, that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
But what he does do fully falls in line with that desperation for human interaction. And that is, he has clearly been having a continuous relationship with Samson, our giant alpha. And one of the things that I really appreciated about this one
Was the
in particular-
loincloth that they finally gave him?
Okay, let me yes. But here's the thing. Okay? I've been really appreciating the fact that in horrific cinema specifically, I don't know how normalized it's been in others because I don't really watch that. But I've noticed this normalizing of the penis, of the nude body for men. For a lot of time, there would be full frontal nudity for women.
I get you. You're saying it's equal opportunity
Exactly.
exposures.
Yes. But there wouldn't be for men. They could
Right.
have full rear,
Right.
but there was a lot of convenient fogs and coverings and
Or
stuff.
shot from the belly button up. That kind
Exactly.
Of thing. I got you.
And in this one, it felt like it was necessary when it was used, but it wasn't gratuitous.
Agreed.
It wasn't excessive.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Because, don't get me wrong, Samson is a very well endowed man. And kudos to him. Fine. But what I liked about it was the fact that, yes, they showed his penis. Yes, there were moments when, because he's naked through like 2/3 of the movie
Yeah.
until Dr. Kelson ends up actually clothing him, and there's a progression there that we'll get into. But it wasn't gratuitous.
Well, even
in
Kelso stripped down to nothing in his.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got full frontal nudity from multiple men in
Yeah.
this.
He was getting ready for bed or whatever and takes his clothes off and goes to bed or whatever it was. So,
But it was organic. It wasn't a spectacle.
Exactly. Yeah.
But whenever we were in 28 Years Later and Homeboy's running through the train,
That was a
and that
spectacle.
snake is just
Yeah.
going, just flopping around. Yeah, I still stand by everything I said about 28 Years Later. If a zombie's coming after me with a like that and it's doing that, I'm gonna be looking at the more than the zombie coming after me, man. Like,
Yeah.
like it was insane. But in this one, it didn't do that.
Yeah.
It didn't go, look at the on that guy.
Right.
He just had a large penis.
Yeah.
And it was just a part of him being a zombie that he was naked.
Which makes more sense that after 28 years. Okay. Keep going. Never mind. Forget what I said. Scratch that. Go for it.
Okay. So, in this desperation, that would make total sense for Dr. Kelson. He has, it's not a relationship, but he has developed an interaction with Samson. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I appreciated that I wrote down in this was continuity, because in the previous movie, he was shot with several arrows.
Right.
And they kept those arrows. So he didn't know to take them out himself.
Right.
He just kept them. And then he comes to Dr. Kelson, and he seems to do this relatively regularly enough that Dr. Kelson can kind of anticipate.
Patches him up. Right. He's waiting at the top of the earth, the little base of the hill.
Right.
Waiting for, knowing Samson's going to show up eventually.
Right.
So they do have that whole, like you say, sort of not a friendship, but acquaintanceship. I don't know what you would call it.
Yeah, just kind of a working interaction where it's like,
Yeah.
I won't rip your head off and half your spine.
Right. Because you haven't killed me, but you keep patching me up.
Yeah. And that's what he does. Samson, and hang on, I don't think this is the moment yet. But Samson comes through and he's doing his zombie thing. He runs at him. He's trying to control himself. He does his thing. Dr. Kelso does his thing and shoots him up. And this time, I don't know if you noticed, but the targeting was on point. He caught him right in the neck. He got him in the neck. It wasn't just this random.
Right.
He knew where to shoot. Catches him in the neck. Homeboy goes, huh. Takes his time, pulls the arrows out, salves it, does all this stuff, and ends up kind of having a monologue with him.
Very good bedside manner for a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's just like chatting, because obviously he doesn't have anybody to chat to.
Right.
So he's going to chat with this guy. And he's high as a kite when this happens. I mean, and he played it well, where he's just like,
Yeah.
and just in his own world. And he knows that he can't do it. He knows that he can't, create friendship with them. So he's going to take advantage of this time to have this interaction while it lasts,
Yeah.
essentially. Right? Oh, okay. No, maybe this was this time. So one of the things that I liked during this movie, and they might have done it whenever he was first interacting with Dr. Kelson, you start to finally get the perspective of the zombie. And it comes through with Samson.
Well, actually, yeah, because he was Samson in the woods, and then that's when the normal people came up, and he looked down and he saw the person, and it was like a zombie.
No, that was a rando. That was a rando.
Okay.
If I remember right. That was a random zombie.
So we did see through, like you say, through their viewpoint.
Yes.
And they're seeing horrible, terrible monsters.
Yes.
And it's a psychological kind of thing that's happening in their head that comes with the rage virus.
Yeah. As it turns out, with the rage virus, it's not just anger. It's borderline out of fear, where you are angry, but you are seeing the enemy. You are seeing monsters. You are seeing these things.
And that was the rando.
Yeah.
And then now we're starting to kind of see it through Samson's eyes.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I liked was as we're focusing on Samson, he's kind of our main zombie character throughout this movie, was they do more layers artistically of giving you a contrast. So when you have Dr. Kelson, you have specific music, you've got specific lenses on the camera and things like that. And then when it switches to Samson, the music gets aggressive and heavy and violent, and the lens changes and the filters on it change and all this stuff. So you're actually getting, as a viewer, a visual contrast of what Samson is going through versus what Dr. Kelson is doing.
Yeah.
And it communicated so much more to me.
It was a good ad.
It was a good ad to have, especially for what they went for towards the ending, like as the movie progressed.
Right.
It was such a good foundation to set up where they were taking the movie.
Yeah.
Of showing that, like,
it was almost like this play or this script had a point.
like somebody thought about it.
Wow.
For more than an hour.
Right.
Like,
golly. Let's make a zombie movie. Okay, go.
Yeah.
Anybody got a huge penis? He does. All right, in. That's where the first one was. This one was let's come up with a plot line here because we're going to do that again.
Yeah.
So it was a good story.
And as the movie progresses, you actually get to see Samson's acting chops, which I also appreciated.
Yeah.
He did a pretty good job with his
really
progression.
did. Yeah.
All right, so we have this burgeoning relationship between... Is this when Kelson fell asleep? When he gets high too?
At one point in time, yeah, Kelson had given Samson enough drugs that he's docile.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if at that point in time Kelson was like, okay, this is either going to be a great idea or a horrible idea. I'm going to take some too and knock myself out. Either I'm going to wake up and we're going to be friends, or I'm going to wake up dead.
I think this was during the time, because based on my notes, this is when it starts to get a little silly.
Yeah.
But he leans into the whole mad doctor type of thing. But basically what happens is, he's created this dark cocktail for Samson. And so Samson's just chilling on the hill. And Dr. Kelson's like, you know what? I've been through a lot too. Like, I haven't gotten high with a buddy in a long time. And so as he's just talking to him, he just takes one of the darts and just licks all of that off and just gets high as a kite with this massive alpha right next to him and ends up passing out. And I did love the clever line where he's like, he passes out, he wakes up, it's still daylight, but he wakes up and he's like,
Right.
still there. And he looks around, Samson's gone. But
because Samson's notorious for
ripping heads off of torsos. But it's also alluding to the fact that why didn't Samson take advantage of that? And so it helped to show Kelson's line of thinking.
Right. I'm either dead or I'm onto something.
Yeah. And so I really liked all of that. I really appreciated all of that. Okay, so after they have this interaction, I think we cut back, don't we? It's a consistent back and forth.
Back and forth, because
between Jimmy and Spike.
Parties, right.
As far as I know, we cut back to Jimmy and his gang.
Right.
And they've been wandering around and they find this cabin.
Right.
Of a small house with a small family in it.
Small group of survivors.
Yeah. And they very quickly, overtake.
Yeah. Now, somewhere along in there, we find out the girl,
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy, totally knows how to fight. Because she's walking.
Yeah, she
Jimmy's
walks
her
off.
somewhere. She's wandering off and just kind of, tiptoeing through the tulips. And then here comes a raging zombie, and very nonchalantly, and just kind of keeps walking, never really breaks stride.
Yeah, the murks the hell out
It was
of him.
beautiful.
It was great.
Just drops, and she's like, and the sun is shining again.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
And this made way more sense to me as well, rather than the ending of 28 Years Later, where it was this carnival Teletubbies overlaid. Like, yeah, they're good fighters. They're not just ridiculous, let's have a hand sawing somebody's neck in half. No, they can fight.
Yeah.
Like,
That's how you survive.
Yeah.
That's, not only is that how you survive, but that's how you become one of the fingers for Jimmy's hand or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to be skilled with a blade or some sort of weapon.
yeah.
And they all were. But she was just really, really good at it.
And I did appreciate one of the things that will come up, but in this scene also came up, was the spacing on it. Because we talked about proximity to the blood and all of that stuff
Oh, right.
throughout the first one, throughout
Right.
28 Years Later, and how much of an issue that was.
Right.
In this one, they address that. Like, she totally cuts the throat of one of them and just drive-bys past them and just keeps walking, but she turns away so that way she's not getting any of her eyes, her orifices, or her mouth
Right.
near the blood splatter and all of that. And that becomes a consistent theme, as it should be.
have been from the beginning.
That was the whole thing of 28 Years Later, or
Right.
28
So
days, 28
drag
days
and drop.
later.
Blood, sweat, tear, whatever.
Yes.
You're turning. And yeah, she did a good job of just avoiding any sort of contact. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So we're dealing with experienced combatants here. And they go in, and in true, like, Manson fashion, they all invade the house. They want to have dinner. And so they kind of hold the family in their hostage.
Yeah.
And they get served dinner. And while they're doing so, Jimmy's kind of just rambling and talking. And the
He
family...
makes them do the whole Teletubby dance.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. One of the fingers he makes
Yeah.
do the Teletubby dance.
Right.
But he's also, like, trying to kind of antagonize one of the family members, and
Yeah,
is just
one
kind of
of them.
talking
Yeah.
And while he's doing that, they're not having it, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
But it ends up displeasing Jimmy.
The small family's outnumbered.
Yeah. So they're just kind of placating him until he will leave. Till they will leave.
Right.
But one of them pops off, and then he's like, well, we're just going to kill you all. Like, obviously, that was the plan.
Right.
And that's exactly what they do. Well, actually, no.
They do it in an interesting way.
Yeah,
They have to make us
kill a few of them. They take 3.
One girl escaped,
One girl escaped.
and then they had 3 or 4. I thought it was 4. 'Cause you
I
had the
thought it
gir-
was 3.
You had the girl, the old man, the younger guy, and then the other younger guy. And they had to do a shirts or pants.
Right. Yeah, but
Right. And then this one was the one that they didn't take a shirt.
okay, maybe
doesn't
it was
matter.
4. Maybe it was 4.
It's going to
But-
be a big massacre.
Yeah. So they kill everybody else. One of the girls does get away. She's kind of hiding in the rafters and just
Up
disappears.
in the hayloft.
Yeah. So they take the remaining hostages to this farm, to the barn, excuse me,
barn.
to the barn, string them up, and then, yeah, they ask him shirts or pants. And then they do like a flip of a coin, or he just decides, I
I
think.
think he decided it was just going to be shirts.
Is this when he starts talking to Lucifer?
Yes.
Okay.
Old Nick.
This is when he starts pissing me off. All right. Because one of the premises is that he's got all this jewelry on and he has an upside down cross. Fine. Apparently he is satanic.
Well, his dad used to be a priest.
His dad used to be a priest. It does make sense. Like, fine, daddy issues, whatever.
Right.
For the Manson-esque character that they created, I understand why they did it, especially after we talked about it.
All the little scars between the eyebrows. just
Yeah,
like
they all had
Manson
upside-down
did. Yeah,
scars.
it's very, very Manson reference.
It was.
Yeah.
But as somebody who ascribes to the Satanic Temple, the Levian Satanic Church overlays of it
Yeah.
bugged me. Just because
Yeah.
I thought we were kind of done with that. Like, that was in the 80s, man. But I guess it still pulls views, so...
Yeah. I'm thinking, though, from where you're at versus to what happened in this particular reality. All he's got to go off of is his father's references.
I mean, that's fair.
And his father, who was the priest, is now
Yeah.
championing almost the zombies because this is going to be the purge that cleans the world.
Right, he did do that before
Right.
he got killed.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can see where Jimmy seeing or hearing his dad's sermon, something like that, did go the route that we're seeing. And that's how I'm justifying it.
Okay.
And I understand where your background, you're coming
So
where
more
you're coming from.
like,
Yeah.
rather than it being a commentary on Satanism or anything like that, it's more like a dystopian reality in which,
Yeah.
you
That's
know,
his reference.
especially cut off from society during that time,
Right.
LaVeyan Satanism, or just that idea,
And how else are you going to control a group of very influential young people
than being,
any better than being, I am in touch with a deity.
yeah,
And this is what the deity is telling me when he talks in my head.
yeah.
And that's how you control a group like that.
I mean, you're not wrong, especially with the way he did it, acting essentially as a satanic Jesus figure.
Yeah,
Being
I
like,
think that's what he was trying to
yeah.
go for. The exact opposite of what his dad preached.
yeah. And in my opinion, that's what a lot of LaVeyan Satanism is it's just a lot of angry Christians who want to lash out. And they end up becoming Jimmies, in my opinion. From the
A lot
history,
of Christians, been to a lot of church. And I never met anybody like that. But
I've known a lot of Satanists.
yeah.
And yeah, I don't
Once
know.
again, we hang around in different crowds.
Yeah. But that's okay.
I still like you, man.
It's all right. I still like you too.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Because I'm not LaVeyan Satanist.
back to our movie.
But he takes a classically LaVeyan Satanist view where he is the chosen son and he talks to old Nick. That's what they say. And so he decides, from speaking to his father, which apparently is Satan, that it is time for them to go for shirts. And he says, remove their shirts. And so they don't just strip them. They end up skinning them.
They flay the upper torso.
Yeah, from waist up, full, even give you sleeves.
Yeah.
They skin all of it alive, and obviously no pain meds or anything like that,
Right.
which I thought was a cool effect. But at the same time, you would have died from shock,
You would have died from hypothermia before blood loss.
even if it was just the torso.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you got to think that's a massive amount of skin.
And it's around the heart.
It's around. Well, I mean, yeah, but you're now exposing all that to open air.
Yeah.
You're no longer 98.6. I mean,
Yeah.
you start dropping below, what is it, 92, 90, something
I
like
think
that?
so. Yeah.
You start hitting hypothermia.
Yeah.
And this is Scotland in the fall.
And it was hours.
Yeah.
Like it was daytime when they started doing this, and it was like
it was slow.
dead of night by the time
Yeah.
hit the fan.
So hypothermia probably is going to get you before blood loss. And you're right. Shock's probably going to kick in at some point in time. But yeah,
I would imagine pretty quick. Like,
it ain't gonna be quick. It's gonna be slow and it's gonna be painful.
you don't think they would have gone to shock before they were done? Before they finished skinning them?
I don't know how they did it. What if
We watched them. They took them right in.
What if I take a chest plate off of you, then I go to the next person and take a chest plate off of him?
That's not how they did it. We watched them.
Was it a full?
Yeah,
back,
all
front
four of them
strip at
went
one
to
at a time?
different guys, and they just started cutting and going after it and like peeling that stuff off.
All right, I trust you on that one. I don't remember it happening that way.
I remember that really well because I was like, oh, one, I liked it. It was a cool skinning scene.
Yeah.
But just logistically, I was like, more than likely, if somebody's stripping your torso off and they're just going piece by piece by piece,
Yeah,
you probably gonna go into shock. Like I've seen people
would
go into
think.
shock for less.
yeah, very likely.
But anyways, these people survive. And
Well, one of them does.
well, they are surviving to this point that we are in the story, my friend.
True.
So they strip this shirt off of all of them. No, is it all of them or just one? Just the one guy, right?
No, they got the guy, then they got the girl. Because I was thinking, okay, how are they going to do the woman? And it was, you could still see muscles and tissue, but there was no skin. And then they got the guy on the end, and then the fourth guy was the one they let live,
Okay.
live-ish.
Yeah. Well, they basically gave him the same conundrum that they gave Spike. And keep in mind, Spike is still a player in this, but he is really struggling at this point.
He runs
He's
outside
hearing-
and vomits.
Yeah. He runs outside and vomits. He is seeing the graphic torture of people not done by zombies, but by people.
Right.
And he is really struggling with it. And this is when Jemima, Whittish-Jever, the female Jimmy,
she goes outside to kind of.
yeah, she goes outside to console him, and they actually kind of develop a little bit of a relationship where she's like kind of giving him the hack of being like, look, if you're going to be in this group,
You're going to have to get ready.
yeah, you're going to have to be prepared because this is what we
This
do.
is what we do. And I think that's actually what she said. This is what we do.
Yeah.
And of course, Spike was not ready for that. And he's just 14, 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
He grew up in a normal-ish society.
Yeah.
So he's not prepared for everything that's about to happen
Yeah.
or that has been happening.
Yeah. And so then it ends up becoming nighttime. Let's see.
We've still got the girl in the hayloft up top.
Yeah.
She's watched all of her friends get tortured and murdered. We've got Spike and Jamie, whatever her name was,
Yeah.
outside. He's still puking. And then we've got the remaining fingers and King Jimmy in the barn.
Oh, you know what? There were two girls. I'll bet you're right that the good one was Jemima, because I have Jemima and what happened to her
Yeah,
next.
right. Because we got one guy that's been held hostage and
Yep.
they make him an offer.
Yeah. So you're right. We've got Jemima and most of the crew still in the
still
barn.
inside.
And then they give the one guy who hasn't been stripped of his shirt an offer.
Yeah.
Where they're like, pick whoever you want to fight. If you win, you can join us. Otherwise, we'll just kill you.
Yep.
Same thing they gave Spike.
Yeah, same offer.
So he chooses Jemima, the
Looks to be frail, scared, terrified. She's got her head down, kind of closed in on herself. I'll kill her.
yeah, a skinnier female.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of what they capitalize on. Or she does, I should say.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Totally caught him off guard.
Yeah. Because that girl could fight.
She was good.
Woo! She came in hard with that blade. They each get a blade. She strips it from him, kind of toys with him for a while. They're stabbing.
Didn't he break his ankle or a wrist or something?
I don't remember him breaking his wrist. What I do remember is like he had his arm out,
Yeah,
grabbing her,
she
and she
locked
like
it.
and just goes up the arm with her blade, just
Deep.
yeah, flaying that arm open.
Yeah. He wasn't going to survive that.
No.
That was a death shot.
He had minutes at that point.
Yeah.
But it was a good shot.
Yeah.
And then she's standing over him and is kind of, flexing on him basically, where she's like, you thought you were going to win because I was a frail woman
Yeah.
type of thing. And then conveniently,
I don't want his shirt. I want his pants.
yeah. So she's going to go downstairs. But before she has a chance to do that, homegirl up in the rafters finds like an industrial hook.
Oh, it's just one of those big barn hooks where you pull like bales of hay up and you're storing it for the winter.
I'm going to call that industrial, bud. Like, it's a hardcore,
for
that was
me,
a
it's
big,
industrial.
heavy hook.
Yeah, and it's kind of, up and out of the way, hung up
Yeah.
out of the way.
For those of us that aren't used to hauling bales of hay on hooks,
Yeah.
she takes this industrial hook and just sends it down the line. And yeah, what I did like, again, was that it wasn't immediate. She didn't die immediately. She goes, you're looking from his perspective up at her. She goes, and then it takes her a second, and then she starts getting real weird. She like starts kind of crying and then saying random stuff and then losing her speech. And it takes everybody a second to realize there's a massive hook in her dome, like just buried in that.
I don't know how they didn't see it coming down. It was dark, I guess.
Yeah.
The lighting.
I mean, maybe they were too busy just watching the spectacle that like,
Yeah, just never thought about something hitting their friend in the back of the head.
oh yeah. But yeah, so this hook's in her head and she slowly dies, which was a really interesting take on that that I liked.
Yeah.
So the guys notice, they freak out and they're like, go get her.
Yeah.
And do they set fire at this point?
That's when the guy that was had just cut his arm. She cut his arm. The guy that was given the offer. He somehow grabs like a propane tank and snaps the nozzle off.
Oh, you're
so it's
right.
Pressurized. And
Yeah.
catches it on the torch, catches the gas, and starts torching everybody.
That's right.
Of course, Spike and Jimmy are outside, and they're like, "What? It's not the right kind of screams. Those are different screams. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And so that's when the guy comes running out. He's on fire, and one girl's laying there with a hook, and other things that happen, and they're slowly losing fingers on this hand.
They're slowly losing fingers, and then King Jimmy is like, go find her.
Yeah.
And so he assigns Jemea, we'll call her that, Jemea and Spike to go find her. And sure enough, Spike does find her. Did you think this woman looked like his mom?
I don't remember the mom, but it's if you say
Okay.
so. Okay.
I thought that's what they were going for, was that she kind of looked like his mom. And so that may have been one reason why I hesitated beyond just shooting her with an arrow.
I think it was Spike's good heart.
It could have been humanity.
I think he's just like, I'm not going to do this. This is not who I am. I'm not going to just, because she was pregnant, if I remember right.
I think so.
Like just early pregnancy, just starting to kind of show a little bit. But yeah, Spike sees her, clearing the farm equipment or whatever, and he's like, just run.
Yeah.
It lets her out.
At the very least, it was human compassion that held him from shooting his arrow. And he takes this moment, and they're like at this standoff, and he's like, take me with you. And asks her genuinely to take him with him. And I love this scene because it was so accurate to just what she'd been gone through.
Yeah.
Where she's like, okay, bam! And just gut punches him and then takes off.
Okay.
This isn't a fairy tale.
Right, yeah.
Like,
take this with you. Poof, I'm out of here.
And so, she gut punches him.
And it runs like a rabbit.
I laughed so hard at that because I was like,
Because it was one of those moments like, finally, Spike's going to have a way and somebody to go with him back to the island. No wind.
Yeah.
So, it was good.
But again, it was perfectly logical. Like, why would I believe you? You're along with these people.
Right. You got the goofy wig on.
Yeah.
Get out of here. I ain't talking to you.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone with daddy issues being Jimmy, a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
But that's later. Spike has to go back. The barn is on fire. King Jimmy has lost several fingers at this point.
Yeah.
And he is upset. And so there was a side scene that I don't think we touched on where Jemea found Kelson.
When she sliced the guy, rolled out of the way, and she just randomly stumbles upon Kelson.
Yeah.
She's got a pair of binoculars and is watching him from a distance. And he's red with his iodine, and he's sitting there with Samson, just having a chat.
Yeah.
In this huge castle of bones and skulls and stuff.
Yeah.
That happened earlier.
So now
we're back at the barn.
We're back at the barn. King Jimmy is pissed because Spike let this woman go and didn't come back with any kind of tribute or anything to prove she was dead.
Why did you cut her face off? I think Spike said I chased her in the woods and killed her in the woods.
Yes. He goes through a couple stories to try to stave him off. And
Spike is not a good liar.
No. Yeah, he's a good kid.
Good kid.
And so right before Jimmy's about to fully turn on him and probably just gut him, Jemea is like, I've seen your dad. What would your dad say?
Yeah.
And I've seen old Nick. And he's like, what? And she describes the whole scene of Temple of Bones and a man in red and all of this stuff. And so they go check him out.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they go to Kelson's temple and they take a look, and Jimmy, this is kind of where Jimmy's mythology starts to crack. It hasn't crumbled yet, but it starts to crack because he starts ad-libbing a bunch of excuses to why they can't go with him, why they can't talk to him.
He's looking through the binocular. He's like, oh no, it's really him. It's what do I do now? You see the gears turning, like you say. He starts making excuses like, no, I'll go talk to him. You guys stay here. He doesn't like visitors. I'll go talk to my dad. No big deal. And so he goes down to talk to Kelson.
And they actually have a relatively nice conversation.
It was surprising, because Jimmy is so thrown off. He's walking around looking at Kelson going, are you the devil?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm a doctor.
Are you?
Because old Nick's a liar, and I know you might be lying to me. He's like, you mean you really think I'm Satan? He's like, yeah, you got the red skin, you live in a castle made of bones. No, this is my monument to the dead and everyone who's died, and this is just iodine that's on me, and it keeps the virus from getting on me. He's like, all right, we got to talk.
Yeah. So basically, Jimmy lets him know what's up and is like, look, they think, my group, my friends up there think you're old Nick. They think you're my daddy.
Yeah.
So I need you to be my daddy.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't know about that. And he's like, well, he could just kill you.
Yeah, I can
like,
feed you your intestines, or you can pretend to be my dad.
I did like that description. He said, I'll feed you your intestines until you choke to death.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good.
That's savage. That was a metal statement to say. Like, I was like, whoa.
That's a good way to describe it, because now we're getting to the metal part
Yeah.
of the movie.
This is when it gets so good.
I was, up until this point in time, I'm like, okay, this is kind of slow.
Which I can't believe that, Mozart.
Right.
Like,
but he's over here taking notes, copious amounts of notes, disturbing everyone in the theater with a screen on his.
I was not.
No, you weren't. You had it on black screen. I just had to give you a hard time. But I was kind of like, this is kind of slow. And then this is when it got good. Whenever Jimmy starts to have to backtrack and make up stuff, then I'm like, oh, let's see what happens here, because now it becomes kind of more of a psychological.
Yeah.
How long can I keep lying? Can I make this guy work with me? I don't know who these people are. Why would I help them?
Yeah.
But at least it's somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
So this is to me where the movie really started to pick up and get pretty good.
No, it got awesome.
It got good. It did get good.
So while this is happening, Kelson has still been dosing and experimenting with Samson. He's still been dosing him to keep him calm, and we actually see even more promising human characteristics where one night, while he is high on whatever cocktail that Dr. Kelson has given him, Samson actually recognizes the moon and identifies it.
Kelson told him, this is the last dose I've got.
Yeah.
I can either send you on your way to peace, or we'll figure something out, but you're going to have to communicate to me that you do or do not want this shot.
Some semblance of humanity.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, Samson just sits there, nothing, and Kelson starts to inject it, and all of a sudden, Samson goes, moon.
Yeah.
Whoa, there's something in there. And then Kelson starts to figure out, maybe this isn't just a virus. Maybe this is attacking the psychological part of the brain.
Yeah.
And that's what we find out happens. So he starts coming up with another little cocktail here.
Yeah. And
try these antipsychotics.
Yeah. And he gives him like 5 different antipsychotics. I mean, he must have given him like 8-10 pills.
Yeah. Which were conveniently there in his little bunker pharmacy.
I'll give it to him. He's the doctor. If he rated, because he said...
We did say when the 70-mile radius, he had taken every bit of medication in the 70-mile radius that he could find.
So I would believe, based on that he just had a tons of extras that he didn't personally need, that wouldn't work on the zombies as far as he knew so far. He just needed to neutralize them because it was utilitarian. Now he's experimenting.
Right.
So he does. He experiments. And all of a sudden, now we have Samson where he is essentially high but calm. And he gets on a train and goes
through... It was the same train that the baby was born in.
It was the same train that the baby was born in, yeah.
Swedish soldier's head off.
The baby that shouldn't have been a healthy baby.
It's the magic of the placenta.
I swear. I know you're joking, but I swear.
That's a Kelson line.
Yeah, I know. And it shouldn't have been.
Shouldn't have been.
If somebody seriously tried to use that in an argument, I'd hit him. Like, just feel like placenta. You want to see placenta? I'll show you placenta.
Anyway, he's made his way back to the train.
He's gone back to the train where the baby was born, and he has this kind of memory.
Yes.
Where he remembers being in a train and somebody asked for his ticket.
As a child, even.
Yeah. Yeah. A past life memory when he was human. And he comes back, and for the first time, 2 things happen. 1, the zombies don't recognize him.
Right.
Which was the big one. The second thing that happens is he's coming out of his high, or his memory, essentially, and he doesn't immediately protect himself. He's not immediately primal in it. And so as these zombies are like, oh, what are you? Type of thing, he's like, I'm sorry, I don't have a ticket. He's actually speaking English when this happens. And then all of a sudden, these zombies launch at him, and they go after him. And they show some of it. Of course, Samson's huge, so he just starts murking people and just
They
wrecking
were biting him, and he stayed immune.
He did stay immune.
Yeah, so that was kind of like, oh, maybe there is a cure.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens here.
Yeah. So while this is happening, Kelson does agree to go through the being Satan go through being Jimmy's father, right? So they're going to come over that night.
Jimmy's bringing the crew.
Yeah, King Jimmy comes back to the crew and he says, Dad said that, he'll meet with you. You can't ask him any specific direct questions. You can't directly talk to him, but you can experience him essentially, right?
Yeah.
So while that's happening, Kelson prepares. It cuts to him where
Kelson had some raves. He hosted some parties in his younger day.
it was awesome.
This was so cool. This is when it gets really good.
So he decides that, all right, if I'm going to play Satan, I'm going to play Satan.
Yeah.
And he goes all in. So he goes full, he puts makeup around his eyes, full like skull sockets, covers the under part of his neck in black, wears this like tunic, kind of skirt dress thing in full black. And apparently he had a sound system that he either set up or could set up.
We see throughout the movie, though, he's in his little bunker.
Yeah.
And he's got a record player.
They do show the record player itself.
And he's playing a lot of like 80s, early 80s, mid 80s.
Yes.
Everything from like the Duran Duran, some kind of poppy type stuff. But he's got this huge collection of records.
Yeah.
And he's always kind of looking through and deciding what would be the best one to play.
Yeah. And so what does he pick?
Cool collection of art records there. He's got a vinyl collection like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. The man was, he knew his music.
Yes.
And so he finds the perfect what?
And amongst his equipment, if we remember back to the first one, when he was boiling bodies and stuff like that, he had this suit.
Oh, yes.
It had like it's like a foundryman's suit almost.
Yes.
To keep the fire and the flame off of you. It's got the little glass to keep your eyes from getting hurt and no sparks and stuff.
Yeah, it was almost like a grated covering over his eyes, but everything was
Welder's helmet
overlaid
almost,
in heavy leather. And so he gets that out and ready too.
Yeah.
And he gets everything set up. And so the guys show up, Jimmy and all the Jimmies show up, and the whole ossuary is decorated in like candles and little lanterns and stuff like that. Very nice kind of ethereal sort of thing where you're like, ooh.
creepy.
Then they get to the center, and then Iron Maiden's The Number of the Beast starts playing from the beginning. So you hear the whole monologue of The Number of the Beast and all of that stuff. And then go ahead. You're so excited.
Jimmy's just wanting a story told.
Yeah.
Jimmy wasn't expecting the theatrics. Jimmy's looking around like, what is going on here? And then all of a sudden, it kicks in.
Yeah. The music kicks off, and Alan Rickman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes. Okay, thank you. Ralph Fiennes comes in, and he's doing this weird gestating dance as Number of the Beast is going, and he throws a flame out of there, and then a ring of fire goes around him in the center of it. And they're surrounded by this fire as he's just like all this demonic stuff. And
it was so cool.
It was epic, dude. And then randomly, I don't remember how he did it, but he like distracts him and he disappears. And then all of a sudden he comes around the corner and he's got this massive staff that looks like a barbell that has these big barrels of coals in them.
Yeah.
And he's just starts dancing in that foundry suit as he's just and
sparks are going
everywhere.
And spinning them around and it's slinging sparks. And of course, Jimmy's like, man, I got my money's worth with this guy. All the fingers, all the little Jimmys just terrified, just absolutely frozen in their tracks.
100%.
Yeah, and he's like, six, I mean, I can't sing Iron Maiden.
No, yeah, it was so good.
That was wonderful. That made the movie right there for me.
Oh my God. Yeah, 100%. Like, he did such a good job. And then he comes back he takes the mask off.
I think he had fun with it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean, as an actor, I think he had a lot of fun with it. But as Dr. Kelson, I think he portrayed it well enough that Kelson's like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pulled that off.
It was like indulging his creative energy.
Yeah,
like,
which he hadn't done in forever.
Yeah. He's like, he's been a medic for so long. Like, let's have some fun. It was super fun. He comes out and he's in full like Satan mode where he's like, speak, my son. type of thing. And so they have this whole conversation about what he should do, what the fingers should do. And he's like, essentially go forth and multiply the fingers. He's like, recruit as many people as you can, cause hell and damnation and all of that stuff. And, you know, go hurt people, basically.
And then he recognizes Spike.
And then he recognizes Spike. Keep in mind, they are wearing some very interesting masks. I did like those masks.
They were weird, but
yeah. They're cloth masks, but they had like teeth stitched into the front.
Yeah.
And it was just a creative, kind of rudimentary way that I thought was really creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he recognizes him through the mask, and he's like, very quietly, he's like, Spike? And then he's like, I have one more thing. And Jimmy's like, I don't think you do, Dad.
Nope, we're good. We got our instructions. Thanks, Pop. We're out here.
He's like, no, I got one more. And then, what was it? Was it that he had to leave Spike, or I can't remember his final verdict.
It was the whole Jesus was the Savior that came and had to die on the cross.
Oh, that's right.
And was resurrected and, you know, bring salvation.
Uh-huh.
If you're my son, we need to do the same thing. You need to be crucified, and then you need to rise from the dead, and then you can go forth and destroy.
Right. And great symbology here, too. In the center of the ossuary, where all of the skulls are piled up in a pyramid, he also had time to put a large wooden upside-down cross. That was there because, you know, classically Satanist.
Right.
But he's like, come on, King Jimmy.
Oh, I'm sure you saw Jimmy's necklace.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm going to use that
Yeah.
as a reference.
But yeah, he's like, get on the cross, my boy. Like, you're supposed to be the martyr, aren't you?
And he tells all the fingers, hook him up.
Yeah.
And
what do? They do it immediately.
Yeah.
They went after him like white on rice. They were like, I'm listening to Dad.
And it was, like you said, it was immediate.
Yeah.
There was no hesitation. I don't remember how the other two fingers died. Jemaya and Spike survived.
I think they killed him. I think
they
it
did
turned
too.
into a free-for-all because while they're scuffling and killing him, I think...
Oh, they stabbed Jimmy in the side because I remember thinking that was like Christ whenever he got pierced by
they did stab
Roman
Jimmy,
soldier.
but not before King Jimmy stabbed Kelson.
Right. King Jimmy stabs Kelson.
Yeah, that was the first move. Was
When he
King
went after-
Jimmy
yeah.
is like, if he's Satan, how could he bleed? Bow.
Yeah.
And stabs him, and then they're like, and then it turns into a free for all. That's
Right.
whenever everybody just kind of loses their minds.
Right. Well, then you've been lying to us this whole time.
Yeah.
You just killed your dad. We're going to take you out. And it's just a whole irrational rationale.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think King Jimmy tries to like recruit the troops where he's like, kill them,
Yeah.
and he's like at Spike and Jemaya. And so some of them do, some of them don't. They kind of end up just killing each other. And then, one of them ends up stabbing King Jimmy
Yeah.
in the ribs, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes away. And then we move on to the next thing. Is that whenever Samson comes back?
Well, he's already upside down. They've crucified him upside down on the cross.
Oh, okay. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
And he's starting to hallucinate because he's lack of blood flow plus blood running into the brain.
Yeah. So they strap him up upside down, full crucifixion, arms strapped, but nails through the hands, nail through the feet.
Yeah.
And then like they wrapped up his forearms.
Nails went there between the bones.
Oh, they went through his wrist?
No. Yeah.
Are you giving me a history lesson or is this in the movie?
No, it was in the movie. They went there.
Okay.
Because I was looking for that very specific.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they go through the wrist, but I noticed they also wrapped up his arms in
keep him-
cords
yeah.
to keep
Yeah,
him
yeah.
there. Okay. So he's bleeding upside down and he's crying and he's essentially like, Daddy, why have you forsaken me?
Yeah.
And then sure enough, zombies come through.
Yeah. Here comes Samson.
Was it Samson that killed him?
I think it was.
I think it was actually, because wasn't Samson there for Kelson's last moments?
Yeah, because
Okay.
he picked Kelson up.
Yes.
It's like, I'm so sorry that this has happened to you. That moment of humanity finally almost like completely kicked in
Okay. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Samson. And he grabs Kelson up and he's like, takes him away and then comes back and Jimmy's can see the beast of a man.
You're right.
And the
You're right.
red skin and the firelights flickering everywhere. And at that point in time, Samson's like, you're done.
Yeah. So yeah. All I have for the dance, I had Lord Voldemort come back. But yes, so Jimmy's strung up, and yeah, you see a full Samson thing. He is essentially, as far as we can tell, cured.
Yeah.
And he takes. Where does he take him?
I don't remember.
I honestly don't remember either. He takes him away in a
Takes
very
Kelson away.
Yeah, he takes Kelson away in a very caring way.
Very friendship, my friend, I'll miss you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you notice, like, in the close-ups and stuff like that, his eyes are clear. They're not bloodshot.
Right.
They're not covered through.
Right.
He is back. Samson is back. And he has his humanity. So he takes him away, and then he murks the hell, we can only assume, out of King Jimmy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I almost felt like it was one of those rip him in two kind of things, but that wasn't what it was.
I wanted to see it so bad, though.
Right.
Like, I would have loved to just have, like, because they had a scene where you're watching from Jimmy's perspective and he's upside down, and then you just see this zombie go, wah! Like, at the camera.
Yeah.
I would have loved a quick pan back to just see a zombie just, like, tearing through and just going for all the noodly intestines and stuff.
Or the skull looking back on itself with the spines.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
That would have been cool.
He just reaches under and just pulls it out, and the camera moves around to look at his own headless body. Oh, that would have been sick. Nia DaCosta, we will consult. We will consult. No. For the next one, we got you, girl.
Yeah.
We got some ideas. So all of this has happened, and
Spike and Jemay.
yeah, the fingers are disseminated, and Spike and Jemay are dissolved.
Dissolved.
Okay.
Cheryl?
Disseminated?
I don't think so.
What's the definition?
Disseminates like to distribute.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh, whoops.
Audience, look that up.
Cool. Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah, y'all do it.
Anyway.
We put in enough work.
No time for definitions.
Okay, so yeah, the fingers are dissolved. It is a fingerless hand now.
Right.
You don't even have the hand. No. But yes, Jemaya and Spike are kind of wandering. Like, they don't really know where to go.
I felt like they were headed back to the island.
Oh, you thought he was going to go home?
I think Spike's had enough of this. Spread, scatter versus information. There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fuck you, audience.
But I felt like they were headed back to someplace sane. I think Spike had enough of being out on my own. There's too many crazy people out here. It's evil. I found a friend. We're going back to my place. That kind of thing. That was kind of the impression I got. Maybe it wasn't the case. I don't know. Doesn't matter because...
I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll take that logic for sure. But
where do we go from there?
What they finally did... And I hit him so many times when it happened.
I got blood finish. I got a bruise on my shoulder from...
I wasn't punching you. Did you actually get a bruise?
I had a little spot.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I was like...
Yeah.
On his arm.
A little spot.
Because I was so excited. Because people kept talking about in 28 years later how there was this ultra skinny zombie that showed up, and they were like, oh, that's Cillian Murphy. Yeah. That's Cillian Murphy's character. He got eaten by zombies, and this is the continuation of his story. No, it wasn't.
It was an homage to the foregone, or the gone.
Yeah. Cillian Murphy comes back.
Yes!
And he's fine. And he's teaching a young girl, his daughter.
Because she kept calling him dad.
Yeah. He's teaching his daughter just, basic arithmetic and giving her an education. And they like have a little cabin out in the hills.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they hear the noise. They look outside. They check their scopes. And they see Jemay and Spike running through. And they're like, what do we do, Dad? And he's like, well, let's go hunting, basically. Let's take care of them. Yeah.
Do we help them, Dad? Of course we do.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say it's interesting. We didn't see the mom, but she was young enough that she would have been born after the collapse of society.
That's fair. Yeah.
She was 6th grade, 7th grade, I want to say.
And I can't remember. I would have to watch 28 years later or 28 days later again to see. I know he had a romantic interest.
Right.
In that. So I don't know if this is a continuation where maybe she died.
That's what I'm wondering.
Or she might be on a hunting trip or something.
Right.
They didn't really answer that. But I don't know how I feel about it, but if she's going to direct the next one, I feel a lot better about it now than I did before, for sure.
I really feel like there's going to be a next one.
Yeah. They set it up completely for another one. They're going to make a fucking trilogy out of it. Because that's the thing that Hollywood does now. But I will say, as strong of opinions as I have, this one was a total... it proved me wrong on every way I anticipated it. It fully revamped the series.
It was a redemption movie.
It was 100% a redemption movie.
That one, the 20 years later was so bad they had to redeem it.
I totally agree. Danny Boyle did not need to be directing it.
No.
After the last one.
Yeah, he did good on the earlier ones, but this one was not good. 20 years later was not good.
That one was rough. But this one was amazing. But yeah, anyways, credits roll. So that's where we leave off.
Yeah.
Is Cillian Murphy helping Spike and Jemea along with his daughter, and we have to see what happens next. But
right.
Yeah. So, okay.
There's hope.
Overall, this is post-spoiler time.
Okay.
So, overall, aesthetically, stylistically, what were its accolades? What were your criticisms of the movie?
There were a few continuity errors that I saw, and I know it can't be helped because Spike's a young man and he grew.
Okay.
But there were, when Samson had the arrows in him and Kelson's working with him, that was a pull from the previous movie. I know Spike's grown. He's a young man. He's going to grow and that kind of thing. I wish they would have filmed it a little closer to the ending of the last one so that Spike looked similar in age. Because you had so much other continuity. And it wasn't that big of a deal. Maybe that's why I stuck the wig on Spike or whatever. Maybe that's why the costuming was the way it was. Or I don't know. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. It didn't hurt the movie.
Sure.
That was just a kind of little continuity thing. Some of the medications weren't out of... what's the word I'm looking for? It still worked.
They weren't expired.
They weren't expired. That's the word. Yeah.
28 years is a long time for a prescription to be as... Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there were, like I say, some young people, I don't know, they had to have been born after the collapse or whatever you want to call it. But really, overall, there's not a lot to pick on.
Yeah, honestly.
Soundtrack, really good.
Soundtrack was killer.
Yeah, soundtrack worked.
They did a great job throughout the whole thing. Yeah.
Not only the ominous, just the instrumental type stuff that was going on, just kind of a background noise, but the music that got played at specific times fit.
Yeah.
And being that I grew up with a lot of that music anyway, it was a really good kickback or throwback rather.
Hell yeah.
For me, yeah.
Yeah, I lost my mind when Iron Maiden came on. I was like,
Right.
no, no.
I saw him pull the jacket cover, and I'm like, he's not about to do that, is he? And he did it. Sets, that last scene, like I said, that I enjoyed so much, was done so well.
Yeah.
Different camera angles, like when the fire
The ring came around,
ring came around. That was really cool. There was a lot of stuff that I really enjoyed about this one.
Yeah.
What about you?
Honestly, I don't have a lot to criticize, to be perfectly honest. Like I said, this was a redemption movie for the franchise for me. Like, I was, depending on how this went, I was fully ready to be like, okay, there's 28 days later, and then that's it.
Yeah, there did.
Like, I'm not showing it. I'm not watching it. I'm not talking about it. Like, no.
That's the way I am about the Highlander series. They made the first one. They made the third one. There was no second Highlander movie.
Yeah, and that's basically where we're at.
This one was. Yeah, there was no 28 years later.
No, you got 28 days, 28 weeks, and then Bone Temple.
Yeah.
That's the way to watch it. Have somebody who's gone through the torture of watching 28 years later. It'll take 10 minutes. I'd even argue that you might have a few questions if you just watch the Bone Temple, but it wouldn't be enough to kill the movie in any way, shape, or form.
No.
Somebody could explain it to you in 5 minutes. Like, it's not necessary in any way.
Right.
And so the only thing I would have done, and this is strictly just a stylistic thing for me, like you said, it doesn't take away from the movie at all. It's just something that I so enjoyed about 28 Days Later was the type of camera they used. When I don't know if it's because of a limited budget. I don't know if it's because of the times, but the kind of camera they used, it was a little grainy.
Yes.
It was just a little, not pixelated, but it was grainy is the best way.
Slightly out of focus.
Yeah, almost slightly out of focus, but it added to the immersion for me, to the environment and the climate of the movie, where when they had their gory scenes and all of that stuff, it felt grimy. It felt gritty and dirty and like,
You got it on you from the screen.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like somebody would get sprayed and you were like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then when they're chopping arms off of survivors and stuff like that, like you felt it. It was just,
Yeah.
it was way more of an immersive an experience. And so having it in essentially like Ultra HD was fine. But I think there might be something to be said
Yeah.
for having that movie done in that kind of lens type
Yeah.
where, it's just a little off. It's just a little imperfect
Right.
to add to the
That added
grody-ness.
to the reality of it.
Yeah.
It was easier to slide into that environment. I'm there because
Yeah.
it's just a little bit. It kicked your imagination in or something. I don't know what it was, but I agree with you. The 28 days later, camera work would have been great in some of the parts. Not necessarily the whole thing,
Sure.
but
I mean, even if you want to do it from Samson's perspective,
yeah,
where it's 4K throughout most of it for humans, but then when it comes to his perspective, now it's that kind of grainy, weird type of thing. Even that would have been, I think, a good add-in, but it didn't take away from the movie.
no, not at all.
Yeah. So I enjoyed this movie so much. I created my own bracket for it.
Okay, now here's my question.
Yeah.
Did you really enjoy it so much, or were you just so wonderfully surprised that it wasn't as bad as the first one that you're now ranking it higher than you would have had the first one been good?
Both.
Okay.
It was a combination of both for me. One, because, I was so pleasantly surprised that it was such a contrast from 28 years later.
Okay.
But I did have to take a moment after the fact and just think of the past, 28 days, 28 weeks,
Right.
how this held up as well. And I can see finally, and that's one reason why 28 years was such a problem for me, was because I could see the arc with 28 days, 28 weeks, and then 28 years, it went, and I couldn't see the overall arc of the story of where we were going,
Right.
of what was happening or anything. There was no continuity or anything like
Right.
that. It was just there. And so,
You need transition scenes. You don't need a transition movie.
exactly.
Yeah.
100%. Give me just a what do they call it? A prelude of cinema in the movie to say this is who we're talking about. This is what he's been through. Here's the story now.
Yeah.
That's all you needed for 28 years later. It would have taken 10 minutes and saved them millions of dollars.
And hatred.
And hatred, yeah. Given they probably made stupid amounts of money on 28 years,
Right.
but I have a sneaking suspicion that's why they made it.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. But the Bone Temple actually keeps that arc going
Yeah.
to the point where I want to see the next one. I'm like,
Okay.
all right, we're going down. We're on our way to a home run
Yeah.
where we've got one hiccup. We can ignore that. Just
Just keep
kick
going.
that one to the side.
Right.
But you are on your way to a home run.
Okay.
Don't it up.
So I'm going to give you my rating.
All right, what's your rating?
My rating is it's a good time.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Had the beginning not been so much buildup, it would have been higher than that. Because right now I've got it between it was a time and it was a good time.
Okay.
The last 30 minutes pushed it into it was a good time.
Fair enough.
I would watch that last 30 minutes again.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Whenever it comes out streaming on whatever network, I'll probably watch it again because that was really pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it a good time.
Okay.
Sly Dog, you've created your own.
I've got a new bracket for this one.
Let's hear it.
Because it did follow past theories of how horror movies work, where, in my opinion, I didn't feel like it was slow. I was invested in the characters, and it had my attention from the get-go. Because of its accuracy, because of how it did all of its stuff stylistically, I felt it ratchet and ratchet and ratchet. And then it followed through. That last 30 minutes, it hits you with a right cross, and you are in it. And it was so good.
Yeah.
But what it reminds me of, and I wrote it in my notes where I was like, this is Mad Max's
Yeah, kind of was.
and I loved it. Mad Max Fury Road is one of my favorite movies of all times. I'm going to give it a metal time.
A metal time.
It was a metal time. This was a metal movie. It was gritty. It was violent. It was humanitarian, but it had its commentary. It did what it needed to do, but it did it like a f***ing rock star.
And it's got Iron Maiden.
And it has Iron Maiden right in the ending. Like, bro, how could I not?
Right. Okay.
So yeah, this was a metal time.
Okay.
It's if you like, especially like Iron Maiden classic metal stuff like that, I'd recommend it just for that.
That's what I'm saying. The soundtrack was great on this thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That last scene when Iron Maiden kicks in, and you know, like you say, you're doing this number or whatever, and I'm just sitting there thinking they're not going to do that. They can't do that. Certainly not. And then they start playing it, and I'm like, well, they're not going to do the whole song.
They bought the rights to the whole damn song, man.
That was So there's
they forked over a pretty penny to get that whole thing for sure. But yeah,
that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I can't, because of what the precedent we have set, I cannot give it a bloody good time.
Okay.
Because of what I expect out of a bloody good time.
Right.
But I'll give it a metal time because, I'll totally watch it again. And after I watch it, like, I want to go in a mosh pit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I need to go hit somebody.
Oh, too funny.
So yeah, that's where I'd put it. But I'm glad you had a good time with it.
I did.
Totally would watch again. No,
I think I would.
Yeah,
I think I would. Like I say, I can eat popcorn and clean the kitchen or whatever the first hour, but that last 30 to 45 minutes is when it kicked in for me.
This is one of those where I could see you doing your just wait. Like, you show it to somebody, and they're like, Grandpa or whoever, what is this? And you're like, just wait. Last 30 minutes. Oh!
Right.
Could totally see that coming from you.
Yeah, I could do that. But that's it for us, I guess.
I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy that this was the case.
There you go.
I was scared. Yeah.
I could tell. We were both dreading going for that one.
I was so worried. But when I heard...
We were walking up to our seats going, this is going to suck. It better not suck. This is going to be terrible. And then we were both pleasantly surprised walking out going, that was not too bad.
Yeah. Well, we both had the same thing whenever we found out that Boyle wasn't directing it.
Yeah.
Was we both heard that it was a new director, and we were like, well, let's give the kid a shot. Like,
right, well, it's a good franchise. See what they can do.
Yeah.
So,
that's going to do it for us. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. And please give us your takes on what you thought of the Bone Temple and all of that.
So, just be sure to follow us, ABGT Reviews. We're on everywhere, even Spotify now.
Yes.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us, leave some comments. We would love to hear from you.
Every Friday, we got new episodes coming.
Yeah, so get ready. Do we know what we're doing next?
Actually, yes.
Oh, I don't know what we're doing next, so we'll find out.
The next thing we're going to be doing that I'm very excited about is we are going to be doing Markiplier's Iron Lung, which I've been a fan of his as a YouTube channel for years, probably over a decade now.
I don't know this one.
No? Yeah. He played a video game that he loves so much, he made a movie himself.
Wow. Okay.
He's the main character, but it's a horror movie.
Excellent.
And he's now, I don't know if it's a Guinness record, but he's on the record for using the most blood in any cinematic feature ever.
I'm doomed. Okay, I am doomed.
And
is it this one?
And what?
Iron Lung?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Iron Lung. And it's his first cinematic production. It's been in select theaters. I didn't even think it was going to play in our area with how it was, but I looked it up, and it is.
When?
The 31st.
Perfect. Okay. There you go.
Our next one, we're going to be doing Markiplier's Iron Lung, and I cannot wait. I've loved him as a YouTuber, and he's just, he's a really cool dude.
Okay.
He seems like a really cool dude. I would love to hang out with him.
I'm looking at the calendar to try and figure out when that is.
But,
so we got about a week and a half.
Yeah, it's probably coming out the 30th.
Maybe the 29th.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll double check, but that is the next one that we have on the docket.
Yay! I'm glad you got one picked.
Yeah,
So,
I've been waiting for it, and I'll have our seats and all that. I can't wait. This is going to be a theaters first, because I don't even think it's coming like out streaming. I think it might just be like an in theaters only.
either way, if it streams, we'll watch it here. If not, we'll go to the theater.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. So y'all stay tuned.
All right, there you have it, folks. Appreciate you tuning in, and come back and see us again sometime.
Yeah, go cause some trouble.
We're right here, baby. You paying attention?
So, again, the missiles will be landing within the next 5 minutes. This will be our last broadcast. Farewell and goodbye.
Just look at me. Don't look back. Don't turn around. Just keep walking towards me. Don't